a FloWrestling annual subscription. Now let's get to wrestling. That's the whistle. It's Steve-O, Poulin. They're both wearing white singlets. The navy trim is Steve-O for the Northern Colorado Bears, and in the Carolina blue trim, that's Spencer Moore of North Carolina.
Yeah, Steve-O Poulin, the favorite here, number 7 ranked wrestler in the country. But Spencer Moore is having a solid year, number 22. So it'll be a really good matchup that we have to kick off our finals.
Yeah, we'll see who comes out on top. There's a little slide by attempt, little shrug by Poulin. And now Moore working a 2-on-1. Early here in the first period still. They're drifting over to the, I guess that would be far side of the mat, depending on what you're looking at. Far side for us. Still with the 2-on-1 for Moore. Now he loses it.
Steve-O Poulin, he's been a guy really cemented himself as a top 10 wrestler over the last 2 years. Just a junior, finished 1 match shy of All-American honors both of the past 2 seasons.
Now Poulin drops down on a single leg, but Moore muscles up, limp legs out of it, and goes in on a shot on his own. And on the outside, loses that leg as Poulin sprawls and has some short offense opportunities for himself. Just about halfway through the first period.
Yeah, it looked like for a moment Steve-O was in a really good position to finish that single leg, but I like what I saw out of Spencer Moore. He defended and then immediately went on the attack. Didn't get to it, but that's a great mentality to have.
Yeah, both guys had to run the gauntlet. This was one of the deeper weight classes here at the Southern Scuffle. Spencer Moore had to beat Barrick Jordan, who took out Kurt McHenry, who was here part of that limited Penn State squad. And then he went in a barn burner with Anthony Moulton. That went on to rideouts. And Spencer went to the second sudden victory period, actually, with Spencer Moore. Barely got the takedown before that period ran out. And then Poulin had to take out a very tough Antonio Lorenzo of Oklahoma, 5-2 in the semis. As Spencer goes in on that 2-on-1, likes to work from those ties. Still no scores deep in the first period.
Yeah, a lot of times these matches are won and lost and what happens at the end of periods, and so it'll be interesting to see if either guy can capitalize. And as I say that, Steve-O gets in and finishes quick.
Yeah, that quick finish is crucial. We're in short time, and with just 15 seconds left in the period, he scores. So going to try to get the ride out. That would be big, because that gives you your 3-point lead, and you deny your opponent the escape point, and that's exactly what happened. So riding time, not so much a factor, but the lack of escape from Moore gives Poulin a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, huge takedown there with just 17 seconds to go in that first period, and really now Steve-O's in the driver's seat. He's going down. You know, we got to presume he'll get an escape here. And then that really puts the pressure on Spencer Moore to find his way to a takedown.
Poulin starts the second underneath. Moore stops his first attempt to stand, but Poulin still has 1 leg up. Gets to both feet, and a nice mat return by Moore, very smooth. Moore looking for another mat return, but Steve-O is peeling hands.
Yeah, Steve-O doing a good job working his way right back to his feet after those mat returns, and a lot of times that's what it takes at this level. You got to get up to your feet more than once, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times in a row to earn that escape.
And that's why you do those drills every day in those practices. Stand up, peel hands, turn in. It's what works at every level, and stopping it is the same thing that stops it at every level. And another stand-up from Steve-O. Scooping the ankle is Moore. He follows Steve-O as he rolls through. Now Steve-O has an opportunity for a reversal. He gets it, splits those legs, and has the bottom leg.
That trapped
up there. It's be in a good position for an exposure point.
Yeah, Spencer Moore, he just needs to keep crawling forward.
Underneath him in a little bit more comfortable position, sits out. Steve will make a nice escape route. And that reversal gave Steve-O a 5-0 lead. And now he has riding time back ticket in his favor.
So again, these last 20 seconds, very important for Spencer Moore to get an escape, get on the board, give him something to work with in the third period.
Yeah, and it'll be Moore's choice in the third, but just to get that momentum on your side, you want that escape. You want to go into the third thinking positive thoughts. Steve-O needs to hold on for about 6 more seconds. Moore's close. If he had more time in the period, he might have been able to work his way over, get a reversal, or maybe even more. So now we go to the 5th, and
it's going neutral.
Yeah, he's had enough of that bottom. He doesn't want to let riding time get over a minute. It's at 42 seconds in Steve-O's favor.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, he would need more than just an escape and a takedown anyway, so just give himself a little more time to work on his feet.
Moore from Critterton, Kentucky. So part of that a southern contingent, not only of teams, but also of wrestlers themselves. Here in Chattanooga, Steve-O went to Northern Colorado by way of Shenandoah High School in New York. That's in the Albany region.
Yeah, and Spencer Moore, he, if you remember, made a U17 world team the year he was going to college. So he was, in this day and age where he held back maybe sometimes. He was on the younger end of things.
Yeah, no waiting for him. He's also a huge Michael Jordan fan and UNC basketball fan. I learned that on a campus trip.
Okay.
We were doing a scavenger hunt, and he knew every trivia about basketball. He was hoping that would be the whole thing.
All right.
Steve-O did pick up a stall warning there. He's kind of in shutdown defense mode. He's got a 5-0 lead with just over 40 seconds remaining in regulation. Doesn't need to try anything risky, and he can eat another stall warning. It'll be a point at that point.
Yeah, just 30 seconds to go here. It would really take something special for Moore to pull this one off.
Yeah, it looks to be Steve-O's match at the moment. Final 10 seconds. Looking for an inside trip. Moore will try a couple more moves, whatever he can think of. Steve-O trying to circle back in and end in regulation. And that is it. Steve-O Poulin is your first 2025 Southern Scuffle champion.
Impressive match from start to finish for Steve-O, and really the entire tournament. Was never in danger of losing a match, and you see why he's an All-American contender here.
Yeah, looked really good. Very impressed by Steve-O. Let's check out some of the highlights from that match.
Yeah, really that takedown in the first got things going for Steve-O Poulin right at the end of the period. And then he was just able to put on a really tough ride, gets the reversal here in the second. And it was all Steve-O from start to finish. Good fight by Spencer Moore, but Steve-O Poulin is your champ.
Yeah, and another awesome event coming up very soon, January 8th. 2 nationally ranked programs in high school. Bishop McCourt taking on Wyoming Seminary. That's on FloWrestling Night in America. I don't know if you saw any of those, John. I think you have. I think we all have here at Flo. They are a whole season of wrestling matches on FloWrestling. Make sure you tune in January 8th. And now we're going to go to a quick break and come back for 133 pounds.
Seventh place winner on mat 4 from Oklahoma, Barrett Jordan. Jordan, Oklahoma, 7th place.
Welcome back to the McKenzie Arena for the 2025 Southern Scuffle. We're underway at 133 pounds. That's Nasir Bailey from Little Rock, an All-American last year. Took 4th for the nascent Little Rock program in the white with the maroon stripe. In the UNC Bears singlet in the navy and gold, that's Dom Serrano. This is a chance for revenge for Nasir Bailey. It was at last year's Southern Scuffle that Serrano, I don't know if it was an upset at the time. It was before Bailey had found the NCAA podium, but it's definitely an upset in hindsight.
Yeah, for sure. It was a 5-3 win for Dom Serrano. And since that loss, man, Nasir Bailey, he established himself as a title contender, placing 4th at the NCAA tournament. But a little up and down year this year. It'll be interesting to see as this match unfolds. Get a little eye poke there. Whether or not Nasir Bailey goes underneath. In his two of his losses this year, lost 1-0.
Yeah.
And both times
couldn't get out.
Didn't choose to go down.
Just
chose neutral. Couldn't get a takedown.
And then the one of his other losses was to a local Chattanoogan here, Mock, Blake Borman, who did not make. I don't know if they were scheduled to meet in the semis or the finals, but Borman took an earlier loss, so that would have been another chance for revenge. But that match was, I don't know, it was close to a major, I think?
It was, yeah. He got put on his back, and I believe it was a major. And so, yeah, really the question is here, are we going to see the Nasir Bailey that we saw at the NCAA tournament? Are we going to see him get on top, work his tilts, and be really, really stingy? But Dom Serrano, he is dangerous.
Dangerous Dom, they call him.
That's what we call him. He's ranked 14th in the country. Nasir Bailey ranked 9th.
And how about these Northern Colorado Bears? Troy Nickerson in the corner, and also with Earl Hall, can't discount the just the benefits that you get by having a guy like Hall, as evidenced by Dom in the finals here. But it's Nasir who's dragging his toes, trying to get control. Dom's kind of on a hip. I don't know if they're calling it. Is that a no continuation? So no takedown. Very close. And Coach Maldonado, Coach White. Coach Maldonado, Javier, has been pretty vocal this whole tournament. This is not a full Little Rock lineup, but they do have a good number of guys here.
Yeah, that really close position there on the edge. He was sat down on his butt. And
great replay, good look at it.
You could argue, does he have that second leg, right? That's the interpretation, right?
Yeah, and because Serrano is not, that right cheek is up in the air and not controlled, you need both, right?
You need both cheeks.
I think that's in the rule book.
Yeah.
2 cheeks, it says.
Yeah, and I think, too, along with that, his right leg extended back. And
yeah.
I think he had his hips underneath him. Had he been a little bit lower, captured the knee or the shin, then maybe we see a takedown. But I think this call is going to stand.
Yeah. I mean, but credit to Bailey for generating the offense, being on the attack. He was very close whether he gets this or not. So no takedown. Coach Maldonado still looking for an explanation. Head coach Neil Arisman is in here, but you can't say enough things about both of the programs represented here on the match, on the mat right now. Northern Colorado and Little Rock. It's very hard not to root for them. They're, I know mid-major is not the preferred nomenclature, but they're smaller schools. They don't have the resources of the big schools. And in Little Rock's case, it didn't exist as a wrestling program beyond 6 years ago. We're not even talking about a decade of existence, and now we're talking about one of their All-Americans going out there. Of course, Northern Colorado has a national champion in Andrew Alirez. Did not make the trip, but we're looking forward to when he makes an appearance again. All right, so all of that is to say we have a great match on our hands. Even though it's still 0-0, did see some offense, a nice flurry. There's a double leg shot. Blast double from Bailey. It doesn't land. Serrano defends. And in the closing seconds of the first period, will we end with double zeros? That should be a stall. Yes, it is. Serrano, he didn't like it, but when one guy is doing all the shooting and he drives you off the mat like that, I would not be surprised. And I was not surprised at that stall.
Yeah, worthy of a stall call there. And it could come into play later in this match. Scoreless match, tight match. A lot of times those stallings can be the difference. And we see, I mentioned it, Bailey goes underneath and hits a really nice switch and stand up, and he's out. So just do that every match, right?
Yeah, nothing to worry about. That was a great looking switch. Everybody loves switch season. So riding time, 5 seconds, not going to be a factor. Now the question is, can Serrano get on his offense? He goes for a shot, half shot blocked by Bailey. Bailey was in deep a couple times and induced that stall warning. But now Serrano taking a little bit ground from Bailey.
Well, and the other thing to consider too is Bailey is a hammer on top. He can get on top and he can certainly ride, but he can also, ooh, wow, that was a nice little low single there.
He had his hands on that foot, but Serrano kicked free.
Yeah, Bailey can get on top and ride, but he can also turn. And so if Serrano's unable to score a takedown here in the second, then you got to go underneath, right? You got to think to tie it up, you go down in the third.
Serrano originally from Nebraska, started his career at the University of Nebraska before transferring after a couple of seasons, qualified for the NCAAs for Northern Colorado last season.
Yeah, Serrano currently undefeated on the year, 10-0.
Not a bad start. Bailey, different kind of start, but he's also got that All-American credential, and really the only guy that we thought might have been his nemesis was Ryan Crookham, who handed him a couple losses last year. But that was the only guy returning that placed ahead of him at 133 pounds. But as you mentioned, Serrano also got a dub over Bailey, so that weight class isn't quite settled yet. Now it's Serrano taking ground. And Bailey doesn't get a stall call, but time does run out, which is why that whistle was blown.
Yeah, 133 is a really deep weight. 1 to 33, there's a lot of good wrestlers in the mix there. And maybe doesn't have the high-end talent like some of the other weights, but you go down, you got Dom Serrano's ranked 14th.
Yeah, you got an any given Sunday type feel to this weight class. Bailey on top, Serrano to his feet, standing switch, and he is out. 1-1, riding time not a factor. I think we got some blood time. Who's blood?
I'm not sure.
Nobody's getting treated.
Yeah, I see trainers in both corners, but I think they're going to actually look at something. There's a brick.
Maybe a locked hands?
Maybe.
When Serrano came down to the mat, official review.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, as we were watching, but could have certainly missed it. So we're going to take a look now. Going off the mat there. I don't see a locked hands.
Yeah, not sure what they're looking at.
Maybe it was before that, but no change in the score, so still 1-1. Minute 40 to go in this match.
All right. Serrano in on a shot, but Bailey pulls his arms up, and he's wrestling from neutral. Serrano underhook on the right side.
Yeah, the grip strength has to be pretty crazy for Nasir Bailey there, because Serrano had his hands locked, and all Bailey had to do was unpeel those hands, and he was free.
Yeah, a lot of quickness on the mat right now. You see the shots of Serrano, Bailey reacting. Also, like, Bailey's got his hands taped up like a linebacker. Maybe a boxer.
Needs you to the awards area, section 104.
Final minute of regulation, 1-1. Stall warning on Serrano. I don't think we saw Nasir called yet. He's originally from the Chicago area. Shot from Serrano. And then started his career at Little Rock, whip over attempt. But really right in the history of that program with every match.
Oh.
Almost had Serrano on his hips.
Oh, they go out of bounds. So Bailey, that's the second time he's been close on the edge of the mat.
Serrano has to be real careful because they usually let you wrestle and defend and all that, but if Bailey's shooting you out of bounds, there's a justification for a stall call. And I don't think the refs should have called it there. I'm just saying that you're playing with fire when you put those opportunities of that happening out there. All right, bonus wrestling.
2 minutes on the clock. Any score ends the match here.
Yeah, that riding time will come off as soon as we start. Bailey wasting no time in on a single leg. He muscles it up. Serrano with the whizzer, but he's standing in the air. Bailey brings him down to the mat, and there it is.
Nice
Nasir
finish.
Bailey with Southern Scuffle revenge.
He's licking his fingers there. It looked like, I'm not sure what that's about, but I like the celebrations.
Yeah, great.
Love to see it.
Great attitude, a lot of fun, and good sportsmanship. You see Serrano was unhappy about that, but that's to be expected. But no doubt about it, went out and got it in the first 10, 15 seconds of sudden victory. Nasir Bailey, Southern Scuffle champion.
Isn't that interesting, Andrew, that we wrestle 7 minutes, no takedowns, and then 15 seconds into the overtime period, Nasir Bailey gets the score, and I believe this is it. He goes big here and captures both legs and finishes for that takedown.
All right, great highlights, and you know what would be great is watching them on your connected TV because sports are better on the big screen. Head to your preferred device app store and download the all-new Flow Sports TV app. All new, that's right, new and improved for Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Android, a whole bunch of other things. You can watch Flow Wrestling Night in America on it, watch Bo Bassett, Jax Forrest, Jude Correa on Flow Night in America when you got Bishop McCord and Wyoming Sam. Can't beat it. Download the app today. And we'll be back soon with 141 pounds. All right, guys, welcome back to the Noog. It's Southern Scuffle, and just a quick reminder, Flow Wrestling Radio Live is every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. You might find folks like John Kozak or even myself on Flow Wrestling Radio Live, but you'll also see Christian Piles, all of our friends covering all the news. But right now, We got more Southern Scuffle coming up. I'm sure they'll be talking about this
Oh,
FRL tomorrow.
I mean, it's the best wrestling podcast in the world.
Number one.
Number one in the world. How could they not talk about this wrestling that we're seeing in front of us here today? And we're still waiting for the, what is that, the 5th and 6th place match to finish up. There's 23 seconds to go over there before we get to Jaden Scott, Dylan Cedeno. And Jaden Scott, not ranked right now, but I think he's going to enter the rankings. He beat Moshe Schwartz, huge upset. So really interested to see Jaden Scott, Dylan Cedeno.
5th place is almost over. I hope we stay here for another 13 seconds because we'll be starting soon. All right, we'll be right back with the finals. All right, we're back, folks, and we got a little awards to give out. It's the 125-pound placers getting their awards right now, and then we'll get to the 141-pound action. They also hold all mats in the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th place matches in each weight before they start the next finals, just so you know the logistics of everything. But very soon, myself, Andrew Spey, and my friend and yours, Jonathan Kozak, will be back to calling the action.
Yeah, we got a good one coming up at 141. And 2 guys who I believe will enter the rankings after this tournament. Jaden Scott defeated number 8 Moshe Schwartz. Dylan Cedeno beat Braden Basil, ranked wrestler, and also Shannon Hanna. Hanna was ranked number 26, Basil ranked number 22. So yeah, these are guys you're going to likely see at the NCAA tournament this year, and we'll continue to climb the rankings once the dust settles at the Southern Scuffle.
All right, 141-pound final. It's on at the Southern Scuffle, presented by Compound Sportswear. Cedeno in the silver, singlet for the Wahoos of UVA. And in the white singlet with the Carolina blue trim, that's Jaden Scott for the Tar Heels.
A little ACC matchup going on here.
That's right, ACC versus ACC. All the ACC heads are loving it right now. Short offense for Cedeno. And to your point earlier, John, both these guys very much NCAA qualifier caliber guys, not ranked at the moment, but I know someone that does the rankings, maybe 2 people.
Yeah.
And one of them might be sitting next to me. And as you stated, they will probably work their way into the rankings next week.
Yeah, Jaden Scott, kind of an odd year. He was 5-5 entering the Southern Scuffle, so he wasn't ranked, but his losses are to guys like Jesse Mendez,
Decent.
Brock Hardy,
Also decent.
Josh Coder. So it's all ranked losses.
Right.
My point. So doesn't have a bad loss on his record, and it just comes through the tournament, defeats a top 10 wrestler. So he's definitely shown his worth here.
Yeah, records on guys like that can be very deceptive, and they're the type of guys that kind of turn it on or have the possibility of turning it on, and then they get one upset. Next thing you know, they're deep in the NCAA tournament. Serious hand fighting going on. A couple fakes from Cedeno.
And Dylan Cedeno, he wrestled 157 last year.
Really?
Yeah, 157 pounds last year, and now he's back down to 141.
Yeah, that's one of those anything for the team type of guys. Coach Steve Garland, no surprise that his guys will wrestle where they're needed. Oh, that knee does not look great.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see this play out much longer. And there's the stalemate.
And then a couple seconds to disentangle themselves. It's when you get in those situations, you don't know, like, all right, well, it's not like it's just I'm grabbing an arm or something. You got to figure out, well,
It's like a puzzle.
You got to unjigsaw yourself. Yeah. Wrestling from space with about a minute left in the first period.
Attention, Scuffle medalist at 133 pounds. It's time to
Jaden Scott's a guy, he's able to get to legs, and when he does, he can finish really quick. He's got some dangerous offense on him.
From Henrietta, New York, Rush Henrietta High School, redshirt sophomore. That is Jaden Scott, who's trying to reach through, generate some offense from underneath Dylan Cedeno, who is from North Jersey, Bergen Catholic guy, hometown of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. So we got New Jersey to UVA and New York to UNC. The Snowbird Pipeline.
This is Cedeno's first matches of the year are here at the Southern Scuffle, so great start. And by I say year, 2024-2025 season, not just 2025.
And by year, you mean parts of 2 years.
Parts of 2 years, yeah. And there we see a stall call late against Cedeno.
Yeah, Scott was the aggressor, I would say, but that was a very specific stall. It was a shot that referee figured too many shots without a response from Cedeno. Going to get dinged. Stand off the whistle, and then a big mat return. Cedeno climbing right towards us. Oh, we're on camera. All right, so we'll get a restart. I'm not as worried when 141-pounders come charging towards, the
get those
the
heavies
announcer
out of
area.
here.
But the heavyweights, I'll sweat a little bit. I'm not afraid to say it. Those are big guys. I'm fragile. There's the escape, though. So first point on the board for the Cavalier. Riding time only at 27 seconds. Speaking of riding time, How about the new scoreboard?
It's a great look.
I'm going to plug it because it's in the upper left where no wrestling takes place. No, it's not a sport where balls are thrown in the air. The ceiling we're not so concerned about. But on the mat, which can go to the bottom part of your screen, that's where you don't want your score bug. And we're finally free from the tyranny of lower left-hand score bugs.
Yeah, and Andrew could talk about this score bug all day, and he has been the main advocate for it over the past few years. So if you like it, send him a thank you note.
Yeah, I would gladly accept any thanks for that courageous crusade I've been on. As we get close to the 30-second mark of the second period, still just a single point for Cedeno. At some point, one of these guys is going to want to pick up the offense, but I understand not wanting to be too risky this early in a close bout.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Jaden Scott get to single legs a few times, but hasn't really been all that close to scoring.
Yeah, and I get it. It's tactical. You want to see what you can do on top or on bottom, and until the other guy scores on you, there's no reason to pick up, to accept more risk than necessary. Down block go-behinds. I mean, the counter offense is so prevalent these days. You start seeing some guys, they're looking forward to other guys shooting. They kind of loosen up their stance, hoping that will invite a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly been the trend in wrestling over the past few years, having a potent re-attack. And it's almost like baseline defense is so good these days, it's not worth the risk of attacking.
Yeah, if you feel good about stopping somebody straight on shots, if you're in the right defense. Then. All right, out of bounds they go, back to the center. And now I believe we have some blood. I wasn't able to confirm which Paulson is in the corner for Dylan Cedeno. I believe it is Trent.
Okay, how do you tell them apart?
I think Trent does the shave.
Okay.
And Travis lets a little bit of the hair up top stay. Of course, Steve Garland also there.
I saw Coach Garland getting in a nice little workout before the finals.
Yeah, I don't think much time ever goes by without Coach Garland getting in a workout somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, we had maybe like a 2-hour break, and he's like, all right.
Put on the sweats, let's go. And now he's back to look. He's got the sweater with the collar underneath. He's looking.
He almost got in the workout in that blood time.
Yeah, he almost started doing push-ups.
Yeah.
All right, off the whistle. Scott's still on bottom. Cedeno corrals at 4, remains in the third period. Now, Cedeno doesn't need to ride out the entire third period. That would definitely give him the win. But if he rides out for another 31 seconds,
yeah,
that's 30-second rideouts. That's something you practice. Oh, very nifty little hip heist type deal, and another roll through hip heist for Cedeno.
But man, Scott this could be his worst enemy here, because
you want to get 1, not 2.
And in 10 seconds, it's going to go over a minute of riding time. So he needs to get out.
What on earth? And there's no neutral danger because there's no neutral. It's just Cedeno can hang out.
Yeah.
Has to free his right leg, and Cedeno is not letting go. He's got over a minute of riding time. Now Ben Darmstadt.
So now Scott needs a reversal.
Yeah. And Cedeno can keep this scramble going. Under 10 seconds, the never-ending scramble is going to do it for Dylan Cedeno.
And that does it. Wow.
An unorthodox way to win a match, but the University of Virginia has a champ.
Yeah, impressive scramble there at the end for Cedeno. And you got to think this is a learning experience for Jaden Scott. All he needed was the escape, needed to avoid giving up riding time, and he'll watch the tape of that and he'll learn from it. But give credit to Dylan Cedeno.
Section 101.
Check out a couple highlights. But again, yeah, an unconventional match. And a happy Dylan Stanley. He's pumped. Big flex. The New Jersey wrestler. All right, starting January 27th, you can watch the Duel of the Decade, the 1986 Iowa vs. Iowa State Wrestling Classic for free if you have a FloWrestling subscription. This 6-part series dives into the epic rivalry between Dan Gable's Hawkeyes and Jim Gibbons' Cyclones. Featuring exclusive interviews and unforgettable moments, don't miss this legendary wrestling event. It's streaming. Oh, no, for free. You don't need a subscription. It's going to be on YouTube. Wow. January 27th, I got ahead of myself. Whew. Didn't get to the end of the ad read. Not a bad deal.
15 out of the last 17 national championships have been won by these two teams.
Oh, I see it right away. Wow.
That's the truth. Look at me. I got goosebumps.
Look at Gable. He's not very happy either.
I'm a little perturbed right there. It's not the score.
Come on, Alger. You know, and I didn't get it.
Jeff takes down Greg Randall at the end of the second period. I'm going, we are within range to be able to go ahead and knock off a finalist here, man.
No! See him coming in with that wild double leg.
After the 190-pound match, when I walked out, a lot of things kind of flashed through my mind.
Welcome back to the Mackenzie Arena. We are handing out some awards for the 133-pound Southern Scuffle place winners. And at the top of the podium there is Nasir Bailey of Little Rock getting his award, along with the rest of his top 8 placers. Coming up next, another Little Rock wrestler, Jordan Williams, transfer from Oklahoma State, taking on Connor Pierce, one of several Penn State wrestlers to make the finals and not a starter. I mean, hey, anybody can wrestle their way onto the lineup, but he's got a guy named Bo Bartlett, NCAA finalist at 41. He's got Shane Van Ness at 149, a third placer, and Tyler Kasak at 157. So all roads have to go through a top 3 NCAA placer to make the finals.
Yeah, and you're seeing the depth here for Penn State. And Connor Pierce, great win over number 13, Willie McDougald, in the quarters. Won that one 4-3. And now we are underway here at 149 pounds.
Yeah, right into the action. Jordan Williams, very intriguing talent. He does a lot of interesting things. He got a crazy duck under. Very hard to score on, very tricky with his shot defense. And he started his career at Oklahoma State and then moved over one state to Little Rock to help build write the history. I would say build the legacy, but they're establishing their legacy now. I think it's a 6-year-old program. Started just a guy from Arkansas that really likes wrestling, Greg Hatcher. Had the means to do it, but really went above and beyond when you start looking at, he funded every level, high school, every level of college, and then finally got a D1 program. So Greg Hatcher, ultimate benefactor of Arkansas wrestling.
Yeah, and Jordan Williams has had a great season so far this year, 8-1 entering the Scuffle, and only lost to Shane Van Ness. And it was in a match that he was leading in the first period.
Yeah, got the first takedown. If I recall correctly, Connor Pierce now in on a single leg, trying to get the first takedown. He's got time to work here. They're not going to call a stalemate when you got your opponent's leg like that. Williams, though, very difficult to score on. He's going to try to bring this down to the mat so he can work his magic in a scramble. Pierce being smart, though, keeping that leg shelved. Doesn't want to get in a situation where Williams can kind of step over, rotate around, grab a corner, look for a cradle. Whew. He slips it out. Pierce right back. They got now. Not everybody is an attack all the time, high frequency shooter guy, but they are guys that a takedown happens or something happens and they kind of shrug it off and just go right back and get the next best thing. They're not thinking about the takedown they didn't get or thinking about, well, how much is left in the tank after that scramble. It's just, okay, now let's see if I can get an attack and convert this one.
Yeah, always looking to score for sure. And, Connor Pierce, I was impressed with him against Willie McDougall, as we see Williams in on a single leg, but Pierce is stingy in his own right, hard to score on, but then also really powerful wrestler. He got to his underhook and ran right through it and finished quick against a really tough McDougall.
Williams now in a position that Pierce was in, trying to finish a single leg, and wow, good length, good timing, and that back trip brings Pierce down to the mat, and 3 points for Williams in short time. Couldn't have had a better timed trip within the period and then within that sequence.
Yeah, he's going to finish this period on top and take a 3-0 lead into the second.
Yeah, when you finish like that and you got the arm wrapped up tight, kind of almost like an arm bar. But anyway, you can just hang out there for 6-7 seconds, catch your breath. They had 2 long scrambles. You kick your leg free, you avoid giving up the takedown the first scramble, and then you get your 3 in the second scramble. You're in a few seconds. Little breath catcher. And the head and the arm, that lock there is very sneaky. Technically a pinning combo, so you can wrap around the body like that. But Pierce up to his feet. Williams cuts him.
One of the things you notice about Williams, if you watch him wrestle, always seems pretty relaxed. Never too tense, even in his stance. Sometimes he'll stand a little bit up straighter, but has such good defense. Very relaxed wrestler. Doesn't seem to overexert when unnecessary.
Jordan Williams from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He is a junior.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you could hear that.
His ankle kept rolling his ankle.
Well, these guys are tough. Can't make it to this level without being tough. And doesn't look like Williams is missing a beat.
Yeah. It seemed like he wasn't able to catch his feet. His ankle kept rolling underneath him. I thought the worst, but
right.
I'm glad to see he's back in his stance and he's good to go.
Yeah, no worse for the wear. And still shooting and trying to muscle up.
Oh.
Not only no worse, he is just as good as ever. Another 6 and another short time takedown. 5 seconds to get the ride out. Just textbook scoring, textbook timing. Making a very tough Connor Pierce. Now have to wrestle out of a 6-1 deficit.
Yeah, look how his ankle keeps rolling under.
Yeah.
It's a 6-2 match now.
Yeah, nice work with the highlight there. In slow motion, it looked way worse than even in real time, but Williams,
must be good to go, and Connor Pierce lets him up right away, and ooh, nice powerful double there. Wow.
This shows some strength from Williams to regain his balance, put in a whizzer, get hip to hip, and Pierce is frustrated.
Yeah, and we've seen him almost dead to rights, both on a single up in the air and then a double where, you know, Pierce is so deep, and that's got to be pretty frustrating if you're Pierce.
And then Williams' success, oh, there's that duck. His success rate is down, what, 2 out of 3 shots, not counting that duck there?
Yeah.
And again, another well-timed shot.
He's got to get his head.
I think that's it, yeah.
Is that it?
You don't have to get it out when the guy's sitting on his butt and you're on both sides there.
Okay.
That's
the
Stieber.
Stieber rule. Or the JO rule, depending on what side.
That's a good point, yeah.
So 10-1 now for Jordan Williams in the lead. As it stands now, he has the major.
Yeah, and kudos to Connor Pierce. Having a great performance. Jordan Williams, extremely talented though. Pierce, redshirt sophomore from Erie, PA. This guy would be starting in a lot of places, but wants to be where the best train, and no doubt about it, Penn State has the best wrestlers in the nation right now. There's the quick escape, so they're going to keep wrestling. And you know Connor Pierce isn't going to quit, so it's 10-2. 35 seconds to go in regulation. Riding time's at 59 seconds, but it doesn't matter.
And Pierce still attacking, gets to the single leg.
See if Williams does the backflip. Didn't want to give up the major.
Just for show.
Just to let everybody know he could do it, and he did. Pierce gets the takedown, though. And he's going to wrestle to this whistle. But it'll be a 10-5 regular decision. Jordan Williams, Little Rock, 2 champs. Not bad.
And yeah, great to see, even for Jordan Williams, you know, he transfers from Oklahoma State. You don't know, is he going to be the same guy? And you love to see him come out here and show out and win a Southern Scuffle title.
Yeah, in high school he was the Iceman with all the last-second heroics and big stages like Fargo and Super 32. Let's check out some of these highlights. There were definitely some good ones to choose from. Scooping that leg with the foot sweep. Nice ankle pick. Here's the backflip. Well, he did it, but didn't get far enough away. All right, well, you're watching a college tournament, so I assume you guys are college fans. And the ultimate college fan experience is now here. Head to flowcollege.com. Brand new vertical. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 12 different conferences all in one place. If you are a fan of Division II and Division III sports, you will love Flow College. Let's go to a quick break now and come back with more Southern Scuffle.
129. Your winner, third place from Oklahoma, Willie in sixth place from Virginia, Kyron Butler. In fifth place from Army, Ray Nasir.
All right, folks, welcome back to the McKenzie Arena at the University of Chattanooga. I'm Andrew Spade, joined with John Kozak, and we are about to get to wrestling again. We are holding matches for the first, third, fifth, and seventh place matches. And then we got this podium where everyone gets their awards and we take pictures, and you can go to sjanickyphotos.com and check them all out, because our man Sam Janicki is here taking pics along with other people and teams. And now we're announcing, oh, still doing the podium.
Yeah, we got a good one coming up here at 57. Two programs we haven't yet seen yet in the finals between like Saito from Brown and Max Peterson, North Dakota State.
Yeah. Jordan Lean, head coach of Brown, took over very recently, and Obi Blanc took over the North Dakota State program, was an assistant there under Roger Kish. Kish moved down to Oklahoma, and Obi stepped up. So two programs to watch out for. Saito, got to watch some of his bouts early this year. Very impressive stuff. Or in this tournament.
We are underway.
Yeah, 157-pound finals at the Southern Scuffle. We are all Scuffleonians today. Two very prominent Scuffleonians. Blake Saito in the appropriately colored brown singlet. Max Peterson in the white singlet for the Thundering Herd of North Dakota State.
Yeah, Peterson in his semifinal bout, he was down early, gave up a takedown, and then just really stormed back. Ended up winning by, I believe it was a major decision over Dakota Morris out of Army. So even if he gets down early, he's got a motor on him. He's not going to give up.
This was definitely a anything can happen type bracket. Very tough to predict. The number one seed, Noah Castillo, went down to American Jay Nyes. Or Jack Nyes, excuse me, and then Nyes lost to Morris. Morris lost to Peterson. Peterson, the 4 seed. Saito, the 3 seed, and he knocked off Tyler Badgett. And Tyler Badgett won over Tanner Peak, the number 2 seed of Davidson, who had to injure default in the quarterfinals.
And these are guys, as Peterson gets in on a single leg, looking to finish. Saito a little bit longer, and Peterson captures both legs, but Saito was locked, and now that's a takedown for Peterson. Peterson and Saito, they've both been in the rankings. Not currently in, but a feeling we could see him next rankings update this week.
Escape for Saito makes it 3-1. Really like the knee slide by Peterson to get in on that single leg, and then like the movement by Saito to turn it into a scramble. But it was the extra effort by Peterson to collect that second leg and stop the motion of Saito. So fun sequence, 3-1 lead for Peterson. Riding time only at 10 seconds as we're within the final minute of the first period.
For fifth place, Dakota Morris with a 7-0 lead. First period.
Head to head, Peterson looking for snaps, looking to get into Saito's legs again. There's an attempt by Saito, but Peterson was ready for him, got him in front headlock. Saito was in some brawls. 7-6 bout in the round of 16. Was down 6-1 at one point to Nick Sanko of Virginia. Completed the come from behind victory. As the first period comes to a close, Saito then had to get a third period takedown to beat Trey McDaniel in the quarters. Different story with Tyler Badgett. That was a 12-0 major. Peterson showing though he can get some points. 3 takedowns in his semifinal bout against Dakota Morris. 11 points and 3 takedowns in his defeat of Michael Joffrey in the quarters. 2 takedowns in the round of 16. So noticing a trend. Oh, we got locked hands as we start the second. Jordan leaned through the brick, but now he wants it back because he didn't see the refs call it. So this escape and the locked hands, that's a double whammy. And Saito pulls within a tie score.
Yeah, just like that, it's a tie score, but you know, Peterson, he will have choice in the third. Looks like
eye
poked eye, maybe a little bonked head there, yeah.
Could be a bonk.
Both of these wrestlers were 149-pounders earlier in their career. And Saito gets to a single leg.
Tied up in 3 apiece in the second period for the championship on round 1.
Saito gonna finish and take the 6-3 lead. So starts the period down 3-1, and now 6-3.
Yeah, very much changed the complexion of the match. Peterson definitely won that first period, but then got off to a rough start here in the second. Locked hands as you give up the escape.
Saito's got that bar locked up pretty tight on the right side. Can't see what he's working for on the left. But at the very least, he's getting some riding time.
And I would say this went from, you give a pretty strong edge to Peterson. If you were looking at the odds of this match, you're doing some live betting, not that it exists for college wrestling at this moment, but one day you would go, all right, Peterson's now got 2-1 odds to win this bout. And now going into the third period, you say, well, let's flip that script. Let's say Saito's got the 2-1 odds.
Yeah, and it's like in other sports, you see the probability graph of winning as the game unfolds. And
your win percentage.
Yeah, it certainly swung in Saito's direction, and Peterson chooses to go neutral in the third.
Tied up now in 1 apiece. 1 minute, 15 seconds left on match 3.
I did mention I was impressed by Peterson's conditioning, his pace that he was able to keep throughout the whole match. And so we'll see if that comes into play here in the final minute and a half.
Yeah, Brown not really on people's radar right now, especially as Ivy League schools are kind of overshadowed by Cornell, and then the success that Princeton and then UPenn are having. And Columbia made a recent splash with the hiring of Donnie Pritzloff, but quite the coaching staff that Jordan Lean has assembled. Ty Walls is here, Jesse Delgado in the corner, and Mickey Philippi has been in the building here as well. I would make sure to keep tabs on Brown.
Yeah, and they're headed in the right direction, and you see it in some of their results here, and certainly having a finalist and Saito a minute away from winning here. Great signs for Brown.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Ivy League schools is they don't always perform really well, but they usually have a lot of resources. They usually have alumni that can help things out. As Peterson shoots Saito out, it's a stall warning, just the first on Saito. So sometimes they can make quick turnarounds. Final 30 seconds, Saito. You gotta be careful, you can give up another stall warning, but I've seen guys give up a stall warning, then get pushed out of bounds very quickly and get banged again, so that's 2 points. Oh, good shuck there. And Saito probably didn't even want to work for that takedown. He's happy just to chew his clock up now, under 10 seconds. And just hanging out on the edge, not a bad idea. As Peterson, as he jumped around, and then he go out of bounds before he can get that takedown. So there it is. Blake Saito.
Yeah, great tournament for Saito, and definitely on my radar now. Seeing him wrestle live, I think he can be a factor the rest of the year. He's got some really good stuff.
Yeah, let's check out some of those highlights, some of that great stuff that you mentioned earlier. There's that first takedown by Peterson.
Yeah, he goes down early. It looked like it was going to be all Peterson, but then gets the escape, gets the locked hands, and then was able to get a takedown of his own in that second period. The second period really was the difference for Blake Saito.
All right, well, we want to let you guys know that the FloWrestling Night in America has a very solid upcoming schedule. You can see it on the bottom of your screen. We mentioned earlier, if you want to see Bo Bassett, Jax Forrest, Jude Correa, they are going to battle it out on January 8th. Bishop McDevitt versus Montersville 1 week later. And then at the same time, a great women's collegiate match, Life University versus Presbyterian. We'll see Life again versus Landon, and then on January 30th, close out the month with Mountain View versus Simley in Minnesota High School Boys Wrestling.
Yeah, you get to watch incredible wrestling on a weeknight, and I really, FloWrestling Night in America, I wish it was every night, but one night a week to watch great wrestling, it's going to be awesome. Week coming up next after a quick break to see 165-pound final.
Well, hello again, folks. We're back in the Noog at McKenzie Arena for the 2025 Southern Scuffle. We have a few more awards to give out to our 149-pounders. We just crowned, we just saw a 157-pounder from Brown win a Scuffle championship. Now we're moving on to 165. We got a fun one, Gunner, the appropriately named Gunner Filipowicz, for a future Army military officer, taking on Aiden Wallace of Duke. And we've seen a couple different programs here that you might not be as familiar with this season reach the finals, put on strong performances here. It was Aiden Wallace of Duke taking out Tate Picklo, ranked wrestler of Oklahoma, in the semis. Wallace also beat Dominic Baker, the number 3 seed from Campbell. And so that just shows the progress that you can make at a school like Duke.
Yeah, and Aiden Wallace, he had 19 matches coming into the Southern Scuffle. So
he's been busy.
He is
busy
busy
guy.
Boy.
Filipowicz, the number 1 seed, he's ranked as we get underway at 165.
From Duke, Aiden Wallace. And from Army, your number 1 seed.
Filipowicz originally from Georgia, made his way up to West Point. Wallace, another Bergen Catholic wrestler, is the second one. Dylan Cedeno was a Bergen Catholic grad in high school in North Jersey. Wallace originally from Mahwah, New Jersey. So we could get two Crusaders from Bergen Catholic on the top of the podium. Or we could see our first West Pointer. Team race, this is big for Army. They are holding off Oklahoma at the moment, 126 to 122.5.
How far is Penn State behind?
They have 113.5.
Okay.
With the underhook, Filipowicz tries to drive forward, shoves a leg, but he's probably going to run out of real estate. Oh no!
He doesn't.
I spoke too soon. And what's going to keep Penn State from winning the Southern Scuffle? They may have 3 champs, but they don't have as many other placers on the podium. They are all out of wrestlers otherwise. They have a 5th in Kurt McHenry. Connor Pierce just took 2nd. They have 3 more guys in the finals. Whereas Oklahoma and Army both have 4 more wrestlers in the consolation rounds that can win points. But we'll see. My math's not so great. So.
Looks like we got a little blood time going on.
Okay, blood. Whose blood? Wallace's blood. Filipowicz just taking a drink, talking to Coach Scott Green and Steve Blyce. Tom Erickson and, I'll make sure I got the right Ramos. Ethan Ramos in the corner for Wallace. Tom Erickson, former freestyle heavyweight wrestler.
Yeah.
He's got great stories. I encourage anyone to ask him about his days traveling overseas, because as he would say, he had Bruce Baumgartner in front of him the entire time. And if you're not going to the World Championships, then you go to the next thing. Or, you know, the Bruce Baumgartner gets the opportunity to go, and if he declines, then Tom's up. So he gets to go to Bruce's tournaments, and being the number 2, he goes to tournament. So he's been everywhere. All right. And then a quick escape right off the whistle for Wallace. Wallace in on a leg. Holding on by the fingertips. Filipowicz trying to find an angle. Wallace did a good job pivoting on his belly.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't get the finish there, but really great job of just holding on when you're flat out, extended. That is hard to do.
Yeah, it's tough to generate a lot of power when you're stretched out. Sentry shot from Filipowicz, but good recovery and even better re-attack. Granby roll from Wallace, or forward roll, wasn't it Granby? But Filipowicz just trying to use some strength there. Now he's got Wallace in trouble. He's got that football hold, the chancery grip. And Wallace saved by the bell.
But not before giving up 4 near fall, and going to be 10-1 Filipowicz going into the second period.
Yeah, got caught in that scramble by savvy Filipowicz. Got his hips in the right place, and then might have had the pin if he had more time to work.
Yeah, and it was off of a really fun exchange too. It was a couple different re-attacks and that forward roll, but Filipowicz comes out on top, and huge lead here. So now if you're Wallace, you need something big, right? You need to slowly build. You need to win this period. Get yourself a takedown or two and see what can happen.
Yeah, might as well go for broke at this point, although plenty of match to go. Wow. So spinning around on their shoulders, kind of upside down for a minute there, and Filipowicz gets the reversal, 12-1 now. There's the escape. Wallace hustling back to the center. So same thing as a 1-point escape. Not sure if they'll ever not fix, but you know, make a reversal 3. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but I maybe see the logic to it. Nice shot from Filipowicz, and we may get an early end to this match. 3 more.
Yeah, 1 more takedown will do it for Filipowicz.
Or some near fall. He's going to cut him. He's got 45 seconds to get a second period tech. And then because we're holding matches, we may have a long commercial break. We'll see. Not over yet. Wallace isn't going to go easy. Shot from space, keeping that far tricep. There it is. Gunnar Filipowicz gets West Point, their first champ of the Southern Scuffle. They'll have a couple more opportunities coming up.
With a take for the championship for Army, Gunnar.
Big smile from Gunnar. That was a pretty dominant performance. Gotta like what you gotta like what you see from Gunnar.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the highlights, and I think you're going to like what you see.
I think you're going to like the way you look if you're an Army fan.
Yeah, a lot of offense for Filipowicz, and does a great job converting on this near fall opportunity. That really busted the match wide open.
Yeah, the step over gives you 3 plus 4 in short time, and then this is the match ender. Nice little tricep dump. There it is. There's your champ. So let's check out some upcoming events while we have a few minutes. Here's the big ones, the NWCA Dual Meet Championships. That's it's everybody not in a Power 5 conference. You can expect most of those teams to be there. That's going to be fun. That's coming up Jan 10, just in 5 days from now. Kozak, what about these duels we got coming up?
Yeah, some really solid duels coming up. You know, January 24th, I think that's where you really circle. Oklahoma State, Northern Iowa. We just saw today Northern Iowa took out Nebraska. I'm circling that one. That's one you don't want to miss.
And then Virginia Tech, App State. Great to see the Hokies and Stanford and the Mountaineers, Stanford and Oregon State. Another great one at the end of the month. Great stuff on FloWrestling. Make sure you guys tune in, and we're going to take a quick break and come back for 174 pounds.
welcome back. We are currently handing out some awards here. And I want to remind you guys, tune in every Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Central to listen to the best wrestling podcast in the world, FloWrestling Radio Live, featuring Andrew Spey, myself, of course, our host, Christian Piles, JD Radar, and the whole cast and crew of FRL.
Tyler Meisinger behind the bar, putting all the graphics on the screen. Where else can you see that type of camaraderie and amazing fits from young people like JD and Tyler?
Yeah.
I can't get over their outfits.
Yeah, if you want to stay up with what the youth are wearing, the style, that's why we have JD and Tyler.
It's the only reason we keep them around.
Yeah. They're pretty good at wrestling content.
Some other stuff. They were also pretty good at wrestling. Just like these guys are about to take the mat. Well, they're on the mat. They're shaking hands. You see them right there. Gavin Sachs on the mat right now. And Sergio DiCiante, his opponent. Got the wide angle going as our wrestlers are in business. DiCiante on a shot. And I've seen Gavin Sachs do some crazy defense here.
He's going to need something crazy here because
he's not around
it. Has both legs wrapped up. And looking to hook the leg now. But look at that. And that's the three-point takedown.
Yeah, there it is. Good on DiCiante not to panic there, not to try to force it and leave an opening for Sachs, because you saw Sachs was ready for anything there.
Yeah, and man, I have been impressed with Sergio DiCiante. He took out All-American #4 Lenny Wolek in the semis, and he really just did it. Didn't catch him on his back, wasn't fluky, just takedowns, just really good leg attacks. And DiCiante, he's opened my eyes for sure.
You will not be shocked or surprised anymore. That's why you follow and watch these type of events, so you are not surprised.
Yeah, and Gavin Sachs, he's one of the few guys this year who has slowed down DJ Hamady, right? I think it was a 3-0, 4-0 match a few weeks ago. And Gavin Sachs, he is a very tough wrestler, All-American contender for sure. So this is it's a great test for someone like DiCiante looking to put 2 wins together in a row.
Yeah, you like to see him shoot like that, and you shoot a guy out of bounds. They called action there, but you do that enough times, those stalls will eventually show up. And Sachs had a great tournament. Tech fall, 6-1, 10-1. So his defense, his shot defense, no one has taken him down yet at the Scuffle. That was the first time. It was DiCiante. And this is the only opportunity for the Moccasins to get a Southern Scuffle champ. It doesn't happen too often. I'm trying to think the last time. Was it a Boykin? I'm sure somebody knows out there the last time Chattanooga had a champ. Or it may have happened more recently.
We'll see if we can find that. If you know and you're listening at home, maybe shoot us a little tweet, and we will we'll highlight your knowledge on air.
Absolutely. In the meantime, it is 3-1 in the final seconds of the first period. And we're going to go to the break. Not much of a break, just the end of the period. 3-1 still, DiCiante in the lead. DiCiante is going to defer, go over to Gavin Sachs, who says, I want to go down. Sachs underneath, reaches back immediately, and he's out quickly.
He needs to keep it close. He can't score.
So that cuts the lead in half. That makes it 3-2. DeCiante has just a 1-point lead. Riding time, 28 seconds. Nothing to really be concerned about yet.
Ranked 10th in the country.
All right. Sachs. Oh, lightning strike. DeCiante is quick. And yeah, you hear the Chattanooga fans here and the Chattanooga team. They're all here right behind us.
Yeah, they're ready to battle for their guy here.
And I don't disagree entirely with the notion that maybe that should have been a stall call on Sachs. They went out of bounds, and it was a shot from DeCiante, and he couldn't finish because Sachs went out of bounds.
And, you know, maybe your only consolation is, you know, if it happens again, then you're going to get it. So
yeah, you hope so. You hope that's what people see.
And we have a live update from Mr. Scotty Boykin. He said, was not him.
No, okay.
They've never had a champ, so this would be the first.
Oh wow! I was thinking it was maybe Scotty, but all right. Well, kudos. He definitely made the finals then, I want to say.
Scotty, let us know if you made the finals.
I'm almost positive. All right, we could be watching history. We had a champ for Brown. I'm guessing that was the first Brown champ at the Southern Scuffle, but who knows? It's been going on for a while, I think since the early 2000s. Used to be held at Greensboro. Unfortunately, UNC Greensboro dropped their program, sadly, but that's where University of Tennessee Chattanooga was there to pick it up.
I was just about to say, if you're DeCiante, you do not go underneath. Gavin Sachs is a hammer on top.
Yeah, and he's doing that, kind of inviting. There's a shot, but he's kind of inviting DeCiante to shoot in on that leg so he can cut a corner. DeCiante not taking the bait. Sachs, one of several wrestlers to follow Roger Kish from Oklahoma from North Dakota State to Oklahoma, who started his career. A lot of pressure on the head from DeCiante, originally from Tampa, Florida. Went to Tampa Jesuit.
And if you're DeCiante, you want to make sure you're not shutting down what you're doing too early. He does catch that leg, but it feels like that's where Sachs wanted him.
I honestly think Gavin Sachs was kind of throwing that leg at him. Because if DeCiante's trying to get that head under the knee, desperately wants to get the head under the shin to keep Sachs from cutting that corner and sitting on it and coming all the way behind. So he's just trying to keep it up there, he's trying to elevate. And that's why the Chattanooga fans want a stalemate. They don't want this to keep playing out. It works in Sachs' advantage. 30 seconds.
And there's the stalemate, 25 to go.
Although you'd think the Oklahoma fans would be saying the same thing to get a restart so you could potentially get an attack, but I think that's where Sachs was more comfortable.
I don't believe DeCiante has a stall call against him.
There, he feeds him the leg again. DeCiante kind of gets rid of it. From St. Robert, Missouri is Gavin Sachs. And the final seconds, there it is, history made. Officially the first Southern Scuffle champion in Chattanooga history. Nice shot of the fans.
Yeah, impressive tournament for Sergio DeCiante. I heard him calling the surge. And man, it is a great tournament. Great to hear the Chattanooga fans getting on their feet for DeCiante.
That's the takedown that we're watching. The surge right there as it happened. Teammates. But here's that sequence where, you know, I think they wanted Oklahoma, or Oklahoma wanted that to continue, but there it is. All right, it's wrestling season. We're your wrestling source. And yeah, get your yearly subscription. If you don't have, if it's just monthly, you're going to miss out on so many things. If it's high school, if it's college the rest of the year, and international, it never ends. Wrestling season never ends, John. So we're going to take another quick break, come back with 184 pounds at the Southern Scuffle. Welcome back, Scuffleonians. We have 3 more finals matches that we are so happy you are going to enjoy with us. Coming up next at 184, AJ Heeg versus Zach Ryder. And we have an update on all things Chattanooga UTC at the Southern Scuffle. So I thought it was Scotty Boykin, but he was on Twitter letting us know that he was never even a finalist. I thought it was the first champ, but Sergio DeCiante is the first champ. Kudos to him. And then Jason Bryant, wrestling historian and luminaire, says Nick Soto in 2013 and in 2012 and Braden Palmer in 2023 were the only other finalists.
Wow. Okay.
There we go. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Scotty. And now 184 pounds. That's AJ Heeg, another Northern Colorado finalist for the Bears in the white singlet and the navy and yellow trim, and in the Penn State Nittany Lion blue, that's Zach Ryder, true freshman, having a great start to his collegiate career. Pinned TJ Stewart, number 20, and a returning All-American in the semifinals. And I think we have some blood on AJ Heeg's face. And so that shot was not going to be allowed to be continued. So clean up a little bit of blood, get AJ Heeg patched up.
From Virginia Tech, TJ Stewart. TJ Stewart, the number 3 seed.
And we're ready to roll again. 30 seconds deep into this match.
From Army, Jake Guilfoyle. And from Virginia Tech, your number
AJ
5
Heeg
seed,
from
Sam
Edmond,
Bishop.
Oklahoma.
See, I spent a year at Oklahoma State, and now with the Bears, Northern Colorado.
Yeah, they'll take some transfers. They also like some homegrown talent. Andrew Alirez is from Greeley, Colorado, where Northern Colorado's campus is. Zach Ryder from Minisink Valley, New York. Going over to Penn State, not too far away.
Scuffle medalists. You know where to go. Section 100.
Got some fierce hand fights now. Ryder is very strong and, dare I say, indefatigable. And so you can expect things to get easier with this hand fight as the match goes on. It's his first year out of high school, but he wrestles like a collegiate veteran.
Like a man.
Like an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, his hand fight, he'll wear guys down, and you know he won't be the flashiest guy, but he's so positionally sound, incredible strength and conditioning, and so as the match wears on, he just gets better throughout the 7 minutes.
Yeah, you better be ready to go against Zach. I mean, you're gonna see this hand fight. It's better to witness up close. It's kind of like watching Greco. When you're mat sided to a Greco bout, it's incredible. The strength, the power, the violence, and that is like a good college match when you're hand fighting. When you're far away, maybe even on a high quality broadcast such as you're watching, it might not look as impressive, but when you're in there watching Zach clear ties, go for the collar, go for the head clubs, try to dig an underhook, it's nonstop, and it tires you out just looking at it.
174.
Yeah, Zach Ryder, also impressive freestyle credentials. He's a 3-time age level medalist, 2 times bronze for U17 Worlds, and then as a first-year junior, first-year U20, he makes the U20 World Finals and takes silver. So definitely some potential on the freestyle side of things as well.
Pretty good. Yeah, I was going to say internationally, I know we're doing a lot of talking about Zach Ryder, and AJ Heeg is right there in this match right now, but Ryder does remind me of an Iranian style with the hand fighting and the underhooks. But Heeg is right there with him, and he's also a young, talented wrestler. Definitely a big mat return, so there's some nice power, but that's a guy you got to be excited about if you're a Northern Colorado fan. He's 5-3 against D1 competition.
Yeah, you got to think a guy like Heeg's just going to get better as the year rolls on. His first year as a starter in college, might drop a match here or there, but he's putting together a really good tournament at the Southern Scuffle.
That's right. And no bad losses here. Looking at his yearly resume.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and I don't think you're allowed to just chuck your headgear in. It's not optional. Unfortunately, I understand it's important to protect your ears, but at a certain level, I think it makes sense to allow it to be optional.
There was another Penn State 184-pounder who threw his headgear, and they took a team point away from him.
Yeah.
That was Bo Nickel on the big stage. Little different circumstances.
Yeah, this was not a celebration or a taunt. This was just, all right, this thing is annoying me. I'm done with it. It's not like, your finger's taped and you're like, get this tape out of here or whatever.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Clearing the collar ties, shooting in is Zach Ryder, but he's stopped by Heeg.
And you can't help but watch someone like Zach Ryder, who's at 184 right now, behind Carter Starace, and then you say, okay, what does he do next year? He probably is more of a true 174-pounder. Does he stay at 84?
Yeah.
What happens with the lineup? I feel like that's the talk every year with the Nittany Lions.
Right, how do you fit that much talent into 10 weight classes? And no, as many times as people are going to ask, they're not going to change it and allow multiple wrestlers from the same team to enter the postseason at the same weight class. You got to figure it out. Just like the Olympics, you're only going to have one wrestler per country. All right, we got an incursion from Mat 3. But they're pushed back on the third place bout. You'd, of course, watch all of the placement bouts. They're going on simultaneously. You can do the quad box if you're watching on your laptop. You can get all 4 placement bouts up at 1. Or you can just keep it locked in here with your pals Spey and Kozak. And we'll keep calling these finals matches on the varsity mat of the Chattanooga Mocs. Ooh, and then coming right at us, Raider drops down. Shot of head coach Troy Nickerson of the Northern Colorado Bears. But Ryder corrals him again. Third period, Heeg stands up and he's out. So Heeg's making this a bout. This is anybody's match right now. I don't think we've seen any stall calls. Got Casey Cunningham and Nick Lee with the skeleton crew of Penn State Nittany Lions, and they're still in the team race.
Yeah, I think first place might be out of reach for the Nittany Lions, but they might be able to catch Oklahoma for second.
Yep, Army, they still have they have a heavyweight in the finals. They have 132 points. Oklahoma 124 and Penn State 113. Yeah, not a bad showing for Penn State.
I haven't seen a ton of action in this match. Both wrestlers having a hard time breaking through that baseline defense of their opponent.
Yeah, credit to AJ Heeg. We should talk about his hand fight and how he's doing in here right now and making Ryder work for it.
Yeah, really furious hand fight from both guys.
Yeah, I like how Heeg was ready for Ryder. He stuffs the first shot and then tried a quick little slide by just to keep Ryder on his toes, make him think about what other options he might have for him. So it's not just, okay, defend that and then defend another thing. Eventually, if your opponent is doing that and all you're doing is trying to block off some shots, they'll get through one of those times. But if you do some counters, you make them think, all right, what am I doing at the end of my shot? "15 seconds. Ryder trying to push through it. In the final seconds, Heeg takes a shot, but they end up going chest to chest. Ankle pick with 3 seconds. Can Ryder step over? Whizzer saving AJ Heeg and the buzzer.
So 2 minutes on the clock, sudden victory frame.
Do you start to see momentum shifting to Ryder? He started pushing Heeg back right off the whistle.
You know, that's what it seems like sometimes. You know, it's hard to tell body language. How tired are they really? Are they playing a little possum? But I do think that Ryder's a little more fresh.
But throw by and then almost shot him out of bounds, but I like the recovery from Heeg. He's hanging in there, weathering the storm.
Yeah, Ryder definitely coming forward. As I say that, he takes a shot. And nice little scramble, and there it is for Ryder. Catches Heeg on his back.
There was just a little bit more hesitation and total aggressiveness from Ryder the entire time, and then a little confusion at the end of that about was the match over or not, or what was going on. But Ryder is pumped up. He got the victory. He earned it.
Nice little smile there, thumbs up.
Yeah. Heeg, disappointment to lose a sudden victory. Ryder, we'll be watching a lot more of him as the season goes on.
Yeah, I think Ryder just a little frustrated, couldn't get to his offense earlier, but you saw him really feel that urgency, and here you see the takedown at the end, and gets the near fall, and as they go, nice little high to low. He tries to cartwheel over, but Ryder catches him and gets the Southern Scuffle title at 184 pounds.
Yeah, Penn State, they're no strangers to Southern Scuffle titles. Now it's one of their true freshmen, so kudos to the Nittany Lions. Coming up next, another Nittany Lion, Connor Mirasola, true freshman, taking on Patrick Brophy, who's been a nice surprise for Citadel. If you're not familiar with him, check it. This next match, it's going to be a fun one. 197 coming next. Welcome back to the Southern Scuffle Wrestling fans. Sergio DiCiante, the very first Chattanooga Southern Scuffle champion in the history of the event, is facing the crowd right now, and he's getting a very warm reception. So put your warm hands together for Sergio DiCiante as we are getting ready for 197. Patrick Brophy of the Citadel took out very talented Sonny Sasso in the semis, but now he has the very talented Connor Mirasola, and we are underway as the 174-pounder place winners trot past us.
For the championship, your number 3 seed, Patrick Brophy from the Citadel, and from Penn State, Connor Mirasola.
Connor Mirasola, part of a really incredible 2024 recruiting class, and man, he makes getting the legs look so easy.
Yeah, Brophy very tall. He took a tall and lanky Sonny Sasso and he beat him with his own attributes. And so that's a guy, if you didn't have on your radar, you should know about. That's Brophy. He's from South Carolina, and he's ranked. He's 28th, I believe, along with Billy Janzer, a Rutgers transfer, for the Bulldogs of Citadel. But they got a local guy staying home. You don't see a lot of South Carolinians. TJ Dudley is here coaching for Campbell. I believe is the last South Carolinian All-American. Connor Mirasola from Wisconsin, though, he's part of that Askren Wrestling Academy pipeline that who knows when they stop producing D1 talent. But they got a good crop right now.
And they got Messenbrink, the Mirasola twins at Penn State. So they got 3 Askren-trained guys in State College right now.
Yeah, one of them already made the finals. We'll see what the Mirasolas do. They're true freshmen. They are extremely likely to redshirt, but you never know until the postseason comes around. And then eligibility may be a thing of the past. It may just be everyone wrestles as long as they want in college. Who knows what happens in the future?
Yeah, rumors of 5 years of eligibility.
And then once you make it 5, I'm saying why not
6?
Why not 6? Why not wrestle for however
Why
long
not forever?
you want to wrestle?
Yeah. Make college wrestling pro wrestling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, Brophy, look at that, chasing down those legs. He gets 3 and then a quick escape. Are we going to have a challenge, Brick? Casey Cunningham in the corner says no control.
Yeah, it was quick. It looked like he had both legs, but this is where that hard to define reaction time comes in.
Yeah, no set of wrestling rules are going to be completely cut and dry in every situation. You got to draw the line somewhere, and then wrestlers are going to go right up to it.
What is the definition of reaction time?
That's a question I could not answer. So we got a replay.
So
nice look at it. He was behind the body. Did he control the hips? And is there reaction time? There is, right?
Yeah, if that's if that is considered a takedown, I believe Vinny Kilkery would like to have a word with this official.
As it happened, I had no problem with the takedown, but looking at it in replay and even in slow motion, thinking, okay, he kind of wriggled away there.
Yeah, and of course every situation is different. You know, if they're in the neutral danger, it seems like they get 3 seconds of reaction time, right? They get to kind of fight off their back for a little bit, but when you cover and have both legs captured.
Did that left leg escape in time? Because he was right out after that. So as soon as that left leg was not within that grasp, then you got to go, okay, there's no control. And did he control? I did like that little short drag by Brophy to get in on that leg. Ryan LeBlanc, head coach of the Citadel, finding diamonds in the rough and coaching them up. And what was the ruling there? No takedown?
No takedown.
No takedown. Redshirt sophomore from Chapin High School. That's Brophy, Mirasola. What was their high school, the Mirasola twins?
Some high school in Wisconsin. I don't remember off the top of my head. 50 seconds to go here in the first period.
We have the internet to tell us West Bend.
Of course.
As we knew. Did you say no takedown? Because I still see the points.
That was a takedown for Mirasola. He got points.
Oh, yeah.
But Brophy did not. So yeah, Mirasola.
Maybe I could read the names next to the numbers and not just see 3-1. But in my defense, the clocks here don't have. They just have the colors.
And Brophy really does look huge out there compared to Mirasola, just height-wise. Definitely a tall 197-pounder. And we're going to see Connor's twin brother Cole up at heavyweight, and I think he's going to look especially small next to Lucas Stoddard.
Yeah, Stoddard, big dude.
Big boy.
And the Mirasolas are identical twins. One is wrestling 97, the other 285. So it's not going to be that big of a difference between them. Second period, Mirasola chooses down, tries to stand, gets brought back down with a mat return, but he's quickly up to his feet again. Trying to do the mat return where you kick the legs out and suck them back, but Mirasola wouldn't allow it. Stands up, and he's out again. 4-1 the lead. In on legs almost immediately. Brophy had a far ankle. Now he's just trying to gain some leverage. He's sinking his hips back. And we'll get a stalemate. So Mirasola was in deep, and he's got some freestyle credentials as well. Was in the Olympic team trials, picking up wins over the summer. Oof. IC attempt, misses on the single leg, and Brophy jumps out of danger. Fake from Brophy. Shot from Brophy, reshot Mirasola. Mirasola just trying to drive through blocking sled style, but Brophy spun around and making things interesting. I like the head fake or the misdirection singles that Brophy's going for. He's kind of hitting it there, does a nice little juke, and then picks a leg and goes for it. I think that's going to be a very effective weapon for him in the future.
All right, Andrew, I found the rule book definition of reaction time.
And this is the up-to-date.
This is the up-to-date
college NCAA.
Yes, it says reaction time. The amount of time a wrestler is provided by the referee to react to individual scoring or wrestling situations.
Come on.
That's it. The amount of time provided by the referee to react to situations.
Sit and stand, and the lead is now 2. That is the most tautological rule I've ever heard. What is reaction time? Well, it's the amount of time the refs decide is reaction time.
Yeah.
Come on. All right. So a lot of thoughts on that, but I'll save them. 4-2 now. So Brophy takedown. We got ourselves a match. Mirasola, though, looks pretty solid. I don't see any stamina issues with either wrestler.
Yeah, Mirasola gets to the leg really early in this match, and I think I said it made it look really easy, but
I did say that.
hasn't been able to do it again. And 4-2 match, but oh, look at that. Nice little re-attack. On the edge, gonna have to stay in bounds.
Gonna want to bring him all the way in. I like the way he adjusted, worked his way up that leg. That's a long leg, though. You got a lot of ground to cover. And he gets him. I think Brophy tried to crowd him, but nope. Mirasola wrapped him up, brought him down. So that puts him in the driver's seat. 43 seconds to go. An escape from Brophy would make it 7-3. Riding time not a factor. And then a takedown wouldn't be enough. So in all likelihood, that was Mirasola icing this match. So Brophy has to look for a home run here, a counter, something to his back.
And there's a stall call.
Yeah, a combination of escape, now a takedown and a stall on Mirasola.
Mirasola head state 872. 1 minute and 30 period for second place. Hill, Oklahoma leads 4-0.
Sit out from Brophy. Under 20, he turns and gets the escape right on the attack. No quitting Brophy. A stall and a takedown would force overtime, but not very likely. Well, there you could have got a stall there, but wasn't called. Mirasola did circle back. And that'll do it. Back-to-back Penn State true freshman champs. Connor Mirasola and Jason Nolf line up the ankle bands very neatly. Very Jason Nolf-esque with the finger points as well. Connor Mirasola gets the dub. Patrick Brophy, though, I was impressed by him. Let's check out that takedown. Down to the mat they go, 3 for Mirasola, and that's all he had for most of the match, and then big trip. That'll do it. John, are you a fan of Division II, Division III college sports?
I'm a fan of all college sports.
All sports are equal in the eyes of the true sports fan, and that's why we have the ultimate college fan experience for you. Head to flowcollege.com and you can watch more than 12,000 college sporting events. That's so many. You don't have enough lifetimes to watch all those college sports. 12 different college conferences all in one place. Check it out, flowcollege.com. And we're going to be back right after this break for the final match of the finals of the 2025 Southern Scuffle. See you soon.
Penn State, Southern
Welcome back, Scuffleonians. This is the final bout of the 2025 Southern Scuffle. On the final 4 bouts, we have all 4 placement bouts going. Though it doesn't look like there'll be a 5th place bout. But in the finals, coming up right now, Lucas Stoddard of Army and Cole Mirasola of Penn State. And John, this is the last match we'll be calling.
This is it. Yeah, it's been a great set of finals so far, and I am really curious to see this one here. You know, Cole Mirasola, I think the narrative on him coming into Penn State is he going to be big enough to wrestle heavyweight?
And he's got a big boy right now on the mat in Lucas Stoddard.
Lucas Stoddard, number 23 in the country. He was the U23 World Team rep for Team USA this past year. He beat Lehigh's Nathan Taylor to make the team. So this is a good test for someone like Mirasola.
Mirasola in on a shot, but Stoddard throwing that weight around. A sophomore from Burton, Ohio. Stoddard did take a year at the MAPS Military Academy Prep School. It's like a gray shirt. You defer enrollment for 1 year, but you can't do it after you start enrolling. It's 4 years and then you're out. Cole Mirasola, a true freshman, and we know where he went to high school.
West Bend.
That's right. Just like his twin brother, who just won 197 pounds. And yeah, that exchange showed the size difference.
Yeah, so, you know, you see there early, if Stoddard can get to those control ties, if he can get to his underhooks, it's going to be problems for Mirasola. And even on the early shots for Mirasola, he needs to think about more angles, getting a leg off the mat rather than something straight on. And there, really wise attack, doesn't even hit his knee. And there's a big throw for Stoddard, but Mirasola hangs onto that leg.
That was dicey. And then Mirasola putting a lot of pressure on that leg, and when you're a big dude, sometimes pressure has to give way. And yeah, taking that little high flyer, Gator Bacon.
Big boy Gator Bacon.
Big boy bacon.
Yeah.
Some guy has your leg. He wants to finish one way, and you take him back the other way over your own back and try to come out on top. But good job, Mirasola, figuring out a way to not get trapped underneath Lucas Stoddard. Gets the takedown and putting on a good ride right now. 41 seconds and counting. Stoddard's teammate, Brady Colbert, wrestling for third against Hunter Katka.
Yeah, and Colbert beat Katka earlier this tournament, and then Mirasola defeated Colbert in the semis.
Katka's had a pretty good career. He's got Jim Mullen on his own team, who he's got to beat out for a starting spot. But Katka last year, what, he reached the round of 16?
Round of 12.
Round of 12.
Mm-hmm.
So the period ends here for Mirasola and Stoddard. It's 3-0, and Mirasola got the ride out. So it stays 3-0. 1 minute and 12 seconds of riding time. Stoddard is going to want to cut into that riding time a good amount. Then get a takedown in short time. I mean, easier said than done, but that's kind of textbook strategy if you find yourself in this position in a match. Picking an ankle, okay, they were getting close there. The heart rate went up a little bit, but we got a nice sturdy little table here, a little press row bench. All right, Stoddard. You know, mat returns just hit different with the heavyweights.
With the big boys, yeah.
Yeah. You can lift the guy up a lot further, and it's more impressive that you're doing it to a fellow heavy. Leg right in heavyweights, but no, Cole Mirasola turns the table. Reversal. So 5-0 riding time back, counting up for Mirasola, and that's why you don't see heavies ride legs all that often. You get too high, you get your balance off.
It's a lot of weight, right?
Yeah.
To balance and start getting some movement underneath, and
yeah, the light guys, the 125ers, they can balance on like with on a toe, you know, the ballerina style. You just got to adjust a little bit.
So Mirasola in control here, and he's building riding time close to a minute. It's up to 50 and counting now with 40 seconds to go in the second.
Could give you an update on the team race. I believe it's just 4 points for a championship win, which means Penn State's going to finish in third even with this win.
Unless we see bonus.
That's true. That's true. Bonus or penalty points, things like that. But I think Oklahoma is going to hold on to second place. I guess a pin is the only way that Penn State could tie Oklahoma for second. And of course, on the individual level, these guys all want to win no matter what. They're not thinking too much about that team score. Big breaths from these guys. Breathing hard. It's a lot of work being a heavyweight. Some of us know.
Yeah, I never
made it up.
Never made it up there.
Never made it up over 2 bills?
No.
But that would mean also, regardless of what happens here, Stoddard and his team will capture the Southern Scuffle team title.
Yeah.
Very impressive performance by the West Point Black Knights.
Yeah, tough. Army is a tough team, and there's some other really good schools in the mix with Oklahoma, North Carolina.
You're going to have a bunch of different champions, too. Penn State, potentially with 3. Army grabbed a champ at 65 with Filipowicz. Northern Colorado, Virginia, Chattanooga, and Brown all had a champ in Little Rock with 2. Jordan Williams and Nasir Bailey. We're in neutral for the moment, and we'll see if Cole Mirasola can finish here.
Finishing through the legs, gonna have to trap that right one. And now he's choosing to elevate, putting that pressure on the shoulder head.
Cole's brother Connor over on the side of the mat. Can't see him, he's to the left of me and John.
And there's the takedown, so 8-0 now.
Riding time is officially locked up. 20 seconds left in regulation, so it's going to be likely a major. Impressive work by Cole Mirasola. True freshman, so they went 3 for 3, the Penn State upper weight true frosh. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Definitely wrestling to what I think are super high expectations. And Mirasola going to get a riding time point and win this one 9-0 over number 23, Lucas Stoddard.
There you go, that's going to do it. The Southern Scuffle has concluded. The 7th place bout at heavyweight still has a few seconds left, but otherwise, you can put it in the books. Let's check out a few heavy highlights.
Yeah, there you see that first takedown, and then the reversal as Stoddard tried to throw some legs. And Mirasola just a little more athletic, obviously more offense on his feet. There was that final takedown of the match and tournament.
So let's check out these championship results. Steve-O over Moore. I think Steve-O could be